0, 1.
Let's get started.
Hello everybody, welcome to another episode of the Black and White United Show. I'm your host Andreas. Thank you so much for tuning in this evening. There's a bit to get through in this episode. There's obviously been some updates with jumper numbers. We've got a staff member who has pulled a pin and moved on, and also we have the first viewing of our 2025 playing kit, our home jumper and our away jumper. There's a whole stack of things to get into today, so let's get to it. So Derek Hine's been at the club for 21 years, and the Pies have basically done a restructure. They've done what they had to do, and obviously he has now moved on from the club, but he was responsible for he had a major part in our last two flags in 2010 and obviously in 2023. He did some fantastic things for the club. The players he picked up, so it was like Dale Thomas, it was Scott Pendlebury, Jordan DeGoey, Darcy Moore. He helped with the recruitment of Jeremy Howe, Jack Crisp. I mean, pretty much every big name Collingwood player that's come to the club in the last 20 years, he's had a major impact on all the guns that we've drafted. Obviously, there's some duds and some flops along the way. Every club has them, but if you look at someone like Derek Hine and what he's brought to the club over the last 21 years, as Collingwood supporters, we should be forever grateful for what he's done for us. Obviously, times are changing, things are moving on. We didn't make the finals last year. We're having a bit of a restructure. Don't know why my light just decided to turn off then, so I apologize. What happened? I don't know. There we go. There's a whole bunch of reasons obviously behind the scenes as to why he's not there anymore, but regardless, the club is moving in a direction and we need to follow that and we need to accept that. So, good luck to him. Thank you so much. Please don't go to Carlton. But after everything that he's done for the club, we should be forever grateful. So that's all. I'm gonna leave that there. But if you look at the players that he's brought into the football club over the last 21 years, I think it is, they're just a phenomenal effort. And we've got 2 flags and multiple grand final appearances to show for it. So thank you, Derek Hine. So before we get into talking about the jumpers that got released on the internet today for our viewing and stuff, which are on the website, we'll get into that in a second. The jumper numbers have all been confirmed. So if you refer back to a video I did probably last week before, you'd be able to see that the list that I put up was 110% spot on with all the player numbers and who's going to wear what. So I encourage you to go back and watch that. Not now, watch this video first, but all the player numbers are on there. Otherwise, you can probably access it now on the internet with all the new ones. So Dan Houston, Tim Membry, Will Parker's obviously gone to 15, and Harry Perryman also. So and obviously all the draftees that came to the club, you can see all their jumper numbers, and there's no real changes apart from the new ones. The only one that's changed but wasn't at the club last season was Will Parker. He's now number 15. So yeah, I encourage you to watch that video with all the number lists and stuff on there. So we finally got to see the jumpers for 2025. Now, obviously being a Collingwood supporter, and for the Collingwood supporters who watch this, we know out of the home kits, there's not much difference in each jumper every year. Maybe if there's a sponsor change, like an apparel sponsor, or if the actual premier sponsor on the jumper changes or whatever. Collingwood have now released their home and away kit. So we'll get into the home kit first. Now, the home kit, when I first saw it, I was a bit like, oh, hang on a second. The stripes are obviously a lot thinner, but not only that, they continue on the side. So I'm a geek when it comes to this stuff. I know there's a lot of Collingwood supporters who are very particular about the stripes and the way they are, the thickness of them and stuff. It's just what you are as a supporter, I guess. But that's who I am. So we're talking about it. But last season's tops, there was obviously more of a black on the side. Now this one here, the stripes sort of just continue, which, to be honest, I don't mind either. This jumper, this home kit, when I first saw it with the players, and like obviously Dan Houston was like this, and the camera angle was low to give him so he was like standing over the camera. I thought that the the Emirates logo, it reminded me a little bit of when we had Star Athletic. It was obviously a lot thinner. Then this photo came up of Harry Perryman when they also announced his player number, and you can see that the Emirates logo is a lot bigger than what it was with Star Athletic. So it's very similar to last season. Obviously the main difference now is that it just says Emirates. It doesn't have the fly better underneath, or even if you want to go back many years, a whole decade before that, it actually said Fly Emirates before that. But we've just gone with the straight 2022 version of just Emirates on there, which, to be honest, I don't mind. It's clean, it's crisp. I personally like the Fly better more, probably because we won the flag wearing it, so you like to continue obviously with that type of stuff. But look, you're always there for change. Nike did a really good job with this one here. I don't mind the thinner stripes. If you look at it closely with the Collingwood logo up the top, it gives me 2020 vibes, like the replica jersey of the 2010 one that ISC did. But all in all, Nike, well done. You kept it very traditional. Just the stripe thickness is different, and to be honest, you know, it's a Collingwood top, so it's great. What I have noticed also with the Collingwood logo, I just want to mention this too because I forgot to mention it in the last bit that I was talking about. The magpie in this top actually sits right in between where the black and the white stripes meet on the side above the Emirates sponsor, as opposed to 2023 and 2024, where the Collingwood logo was just purely on a thick black stripe. I don't mind this. I would probably prefer it to be on either or and just stay on the black, but because the stripes are thinner, they've got it right in the middle. Just little things that you notice, little differences here and there. Now, the away top, I am absolutely in love with this top. Look, the last 3 to 4 years, I'll start that again. Probably since we've had Nike, we have kept the away top very similar. We have a bit more of a, it's very similar to last year, but it's a bit more of a white predominant top as opposed to a couple of seasons before for the away kit or the clash kit. It's obviously a white base with the black stripe in the middle as always. The difference between this season's and last season's, again, the stripes are thinner and they continue off. So it's basically just a full reverse of the home kit, which is perfectly fine. The magpie, again, sits in the middle of the black and white stripe above the KFC logo. However, what I like about this one is that because the stripes are reversed, you can actually see the logo a bit more predominantly because the front of it, or the first part of it, is behind a white base, a white stripe, which I love. I'm a full nerd when it comes to this stuff, so I know there's people out there that be like, fuck, this is whatever, but like when it comes to this stuff, I pick on everything and I love it. So will I buy a top? Absolutely, which I probably will do after this video, but anyway. Now, if you look at last year's away top, the black stripes sort of had like the new version of the swooping magpie in a very soft grey in the actual black stripe, which I thought was slick, and it was an awesome addition to that top as opposed to the year before that. But if you look at this one here, they've got a full-on like it's like a little spike, like the edge of a magpie like thing. It's just a black stripe, but it's just got little spikes at the end. Like, that looks tough to me. That looks really good. I don't mind the little variation they've done there, but I'm really liking how it's just predominantly white on the collar. And, you know, for an away kit, it's pretty stock standard for us, but I'm just glad they haven't moved out to anything stupid. Do I think that they're going to have a swooping magpie this season, or that we're going to wear it for any preseason games? I doubt it. They would have released it by now. Maybe they might release it within the next week or 2 weeks leading up towards the Christmas break, but you think people will want to get their Christmas presents and stuff like that sorted out now. And for the young kids that are watching, Santa's going to jump on this website and make sure his elves get it. Yeah, I'm loving this away top. Now, the back of the away top and the back of the home kit are obviously identical, just with the colors reversed, and the sponsors are obviously different. KFC obviously being on the back and Emirates and stuff, but you know how that works. The stripes on the back, towards the lower part of the back, are like straight. They're not rounded or anything like that. So it's very like traditional Collingwood. There's no like stuff arounds with like Nike have just kept this very crisp and very clean. So well done to them. There's nothing really else about the top that's you know that sticks out quite a lot. But I would love to see, like, I've been watching a fair few videos lately of like games in the late 90s, early 90s and stuff that I would have gone to as a kid or like watched on TV and stuff. And I look back now and I loved the change that, and I said this in the last video, I loved the change that we had when we went to the white stripe in the middle with like, for the like home kit, it was a black base jumper with the white stripes. And to be honest, I think that's more of a bolder statement. And I love that for a home game, don't get me wrong. But when I was looking back at the video with the white base and the black shorts, there's just something different about it. And probably because we don't see it pretty much ever anymore, you look at it and you get a real sense of like a little bit of nostalgia, regardless of like the apparel sponsor, whether it's Nike, Adidas, Puma, whatever, yeah? Star Athletic, that was the worst thing we ever did. But I would love to see us have this away kit for one game wearing the black shorts. Now, you can't do that necessarily because you've got the KFC sponsor would be on the away jumper, but then the KFC sponsor would be on the black shorts. So they need to make a special edition shorts with the home shorts with the away sponsors at the front. So there's a whole little there's all that stuff you've got to think about too, which people don't understand. But little quick story, in the 2018 grand final, I noticed I was never going to bring it up, but just so you know, we actually had to wear a custom pair of shorts just for that game with a different sponsor on the front. I think it might have been CGU or whatever it was, because we were the away team, wearing a home kit, but for the grand final. There's a whole big backstory on it, but you should look it up and find out, because you'll get more of an inside knowledge there. But I just would love to see the away kit with black shorts in one game. I reckon, like, do it for a Marvel game, like a home game, a home Marvel game, like the game against St Kilda. Wear the away kit, right? Get them to wear their red Crusader top or whatever it is, and we wear our black shorts and they wear their white shorts. Like man, what are you talking about? You know what I mean? But look, all in all, I give these jumpers probably an 8.5 to 9 out of 10. The away kit's a proper 10. I think that's awesome. Do I like our kit last year more, our home kit, or this season? I'm tied between the two. I think the thicker stripes, I'm looking at my top now above the camera here, which was the 2023 one. Obviously 23, 24, the stripes are the same. I probably would prefer the thicker ones, but at the same time, I mean, black and white stripes, who cares really? But no, awesome kit from Collingwood, well done. And yeah, there's really not much else to say there, but I would love to hear all your opinions. So make sure you drop a comment. Tell me what you think about the home kits. Call it as you see it. And as always, go the Pies.